80 CWA members were on hand for the judging, which is always the highlight of their social calendar. Only 4 women entered this year's event. Barbara Blunden from Patterson, Edna Binks from Merriwar, Robin Lewis from Muswellbrook, and Colleen Pinkerton from the Windgen Pastoral Branch. They'd been judged on their personality, deportment and their general knowledge. A representative of one of its sponsors, Westpac, announced the Money Spinner of the Year, a new feature of the contest. Edna Binks won, raising $1,360 for the CWA and community projects. The major award was announced by the State Vice President of the CWA, Margaret Schofield.
Hunter River Group, your Country Woman of the Year for 1985 is Mrs. Barbara Blunden of Patterson.
Mrs. Blunden will represent the Hunter at the state final in Albury next month. She is married with 2 children and says she has benefited from her 18 months with the organisation.
I became involved in CWA for 3 reasons. Firstly, I'd shifted into a new area of Patterson and I thought it would be a wonderful way to meet the local ladies. Secondly, I'm a mother of 2 teenage daughters now who are growing independent of mum, and I needed something for myself, something to stimulate me at this stage of my life. And thirdly, I was curious of what this CW organisation was all about. I'd heard about it for years from grandmothers, mothers, but never really knew.
The seminar, which began this morning at the Charlestown Bowling Club, was the fourth and final conducted in the country region. Other workshops have been held at Hexham, Muswellbrook and Tea Gardens and have all been well attended. The workshops are run by the Parent Support and Development Program and are funded by the Commonwealth Government. Caroline Grenville, a social worker and organiser of the seminar, explained the areas
to be more involved. There's no doubt in my mind at all. The course is that we're trying to give parents confidence and some of the skills that they might need to be more involved in their child's education. And so that includes things like how to get information from their school, how to increase communication between school and home, and generally looking at better relationships with schools and teachers.
And why do you feel that there's a need for parents to become more involved in their children's education?
There's no doubt in my mind at all that children whose parents are involved in their education just do much better at school.
The program for this seminar has already been running for a year and a half and will end in August. Today, parents are given the opportunity to discuss with others ways to increase their participation in the education of their children.
The common service system is really one that parents have.
It was called the Body View Parade Fair, and more than 400 people paid $15 each for a day of exhibits, parades, advice and information. All proceeds of the event will go to the telethon. While the parade of country road fashions was the highlight, most other areas of the health and beauty industries were represented. The organiser, the Newcastle Skin Clinic, wanted to emphasise the link between fitness and beauty. To that end, there were guest speakers on exercise, physiotherapy, cancer prevention and natural treatments. The Dr. Barber and Stendhal cosmetic companies plied their wares, giving guests free treatments and lash tints, plus advice on makeup, hair and skin care.
South North Wharf operates as a hostel for people undergoing drug and alcohol rehabilitation programs. For the past 3 years, it's run a paper and glass bottle recycling operation. The manager of the hostel, Father John Gallagher, says the bottle collection was originally introduced by Australian Consolidated Industries in association with Lake Macquarie City Council. People then left bundles of newspapers for collection also, and the recycling operation grew. Father Gallagher says it's a non-profit making activity. Money raised from the venture, $27 per tonne for paper and $35 per tonne for broken glass, is distributed among the participants in the program. The future of the recycling operation, however, is in jeopardy because of complaints from nearby residents of papers being blown away and of visual pollution.
Well, the council says that it received complaints from near neighbours. That's in the official report to council.
But you say the council has actually endorsed the paper and bottle collection.
Yes, we were approached about 3 years ago by a gentleman who said that he had been approached to be the contractor for the ACI and Lake Macquarie Council organised bottle collection, and he asked us if we would like to do a dozen areas in the south portion of Lake Macquarie municipal area, and we've been doing so ever since.
You say the council is aware both bottles and papers are being collected.
Oh, I've got no doubt they were.
No, not at all. We've always found this is a very important part of this program. It's proved to be very useful.
It's just only ready to go in there until I tie it up like this.
For the role it plays in the rehabilitation program.
Well, we've always found this is a very important part of this program. It's proved to be very useful. We find if people going through programs do have a work activity that they can get involved with, and also gives them a chance to get involved with the community rather than being tied to the centre. They can get out there and get involved with the community, and also gives them good work experience so that they won't be here forever. They'll have to go out there again.
So you say it's actually beneficial to a rehabilitation program?
Indeed, yes, we find it's a very positive aspect of this program.
A petition rejecting Lake Macquarie City Council's controversial sign licensing fee was submitted to council by Alderman John Jenkins. Alderman Jenkins received a petition from the Charlestown Chamber of Commerce, the most vigorous opponents of the sign licensing fee, at a public forum last week. Alderman Jenkins also relayed the Chamber's concern that the council is acting while a cabinet subcommittee is in the process of examining anomalies in the Local Government Act, under which the licensing fee is technically possible. The Chamber of Commerce has sent a copy of its petition to the Cabinet Subcommittee. The decision was made last night by Council for a report to be prepared on the petition and queries from the Chamber of Commerce.
The program will consist of 4 career markets which will be held throughout the year. The first market will take place on Thursday night. It will run under the theme of Careers in the Protective Services and is expected to be well attended. Members of the public will be able to speak to representatives from various occupations and will be able to see displays which will be set up at the centre. Manager of the Careers Reference Centre, Steve Bradbury, explained the need for such information to be made available to the public.
Well, we try and provide as much information to the public on all occupations as possible, and this type of information is often requested from us. The institutions that we'll be representing on the night are those institutions that we get the most inquiries about. You'll find that they offer security, and in a place like Newcastle, where many people have been retrenched, we find that security is of primary importance.
And why did you choose Careers in Protective Services as your first theme?
Again, it is a very popular area. We get a lot of inquiries not only from school students but from adults as well who seek information on these services. It is the first night, and we felt because it is a very popular area that we might as well base our first night on that popular area.
dispute is over the introduction of 80-ton semi-trailers to replace these locos, which up until now have taken the tall blocks towards the shipment. Yesterday, Deputy President McMahon of the Industrial Commission ordered the men back to work to undertake a trial with the trailers and the rail system. This is to be done under both union and company supervision. BHP has agreed to this, but the Federated Ironworkers Union has not.
The judge has in fact ordered the men that on this occasion to trial the Brentwoods. Now the men are saying we will trial the Brentwoods, but not until such times as a trial program has been worked out so it is conducted fairly and reasonably.
The company says it's come to the end of the line in the negotiations and can't give FIA members any more assurances that their job functions won't change if the semi-trailers are...
We don't believe that's the case at all. In fact, we've given them a reply to that in writing, that there's no change to the normal function.
Do you feel as if the BHP has been quite fair in this issue?
We've been discussing this issue since late last year, and it's been in the Industrial Commission 8 times. We've been very patient. We believe the Industrial Commission has been very patient, and the Industrial Commission has finally ordered the union to make a trial of the system that the company requires tried.
A large protest group formed outside the Singleton Civic Centre prior to last night's council meeting. The message from chief speakers at the rally was clear. No expansion of the existing army base at Singleton would be supported, even if council announced a reduction in the area proposed by the state government as Strait towards the site for the new combined field infantry and artillery. Inside the meeting, Singleton Shire President Councillor Neil McNamara made the anticipated announcement.
Council does not believe the state proposal is practicable and provides usable land for army training, and does not provide usable land for army training. The Minister and the Army representatives agree that the state government's proposal is unsatisfactory. The Army was well represented at our particular delegation with the Minister. The government will not be adopting the state government's map and will seek further meetings with the state to explain its unsuitability.
However, Councillor
and we made it very clear to the Minister, and he agreed, would be replaced
using about 1,700 hectares of land adjacent to it and within Singleton Shire. During public access,
what the Department of Defence will do. Where they will go, it also seems that the federal government are not about to accept private land in between. Considers that if a decision is made to Puckapunyal from 14,000 acres, the association considers that if a decision is made to expand the army base at Singleton, with the enthusiastic support of Singleton Council, a monster will be released which will not be able to be controlled. We consider that the area would become a major military target in the event of war.
Exactly.
Any expansion would lead to greater day-to-day noise pollution from increased artillery firing and aerial bombing. A further decrease in land values, which have already dropped in the climate of uncertainty. Important Aboriginal sites, including Mount Finchley Aboriginal Reserve, would be significantly affected. The compulsory resumption of Crown land denies a heritage to future generations and jeopardises the sanctuary of wildlife.
Mr. Woodward
historic buildings classified by the National Trust could be endangered and public access denied, depending on the ultimate boundary decisions.
and has been involved with football since 1970.
How pleased are you with being elected president?
Very pleased, but I'm very nervous at the moment.
Now, it's a club that's been fraught with difficulties in recent years. Are you hoping to put it back on an even keel?
Oh, my word, the committee that we have is as keen as mustard, you know, and we're all sticking together and pulling together to keep the club going as it is.
So what are your immediate plans?
We have a meeting with the players upstairs at the moment, and we have to have this every month, a meeting and a few free drinks.
The Pensioners' Winter Fuel Appeal will be officially launched on the 1st of May. Organisers say donations were received last year from a broad cross-section of the community, ranging from industries to church and welfare organisations and private individuals, and they hope this year will be no exception. The appeal goes towards providing aged pensioners who can't afford fuel costs with enough to last through the cold winter months. Donations can be made now at the City Administration Building, City Hall, as well as at Westpac and Commonwealth Banks.
The fire was first noticed around midnight. It broke out in the kitchen of this house in Lawson Street and quickly spread. 6 firefighting units were rushed to the scene, but the house and contents could not be saved. This morning, Sylvia Hardy was sorting through the charred remains. All that is left is this photo album.
I come back. I got back about 20 past 12 last night. It started about 5 past 12 last night. It just went straight through the whole house.
Now, you were renting this house, weren't you? But you've lost all the contents.
Everything. Every last solitary thing.
Was anything saved at all?
No furniture.
No clothing?
No. What clothing we did try to get out last night, I've put through a machine, tried to wash it, and it's gone. It can't even save it. It's just fallen to bits in my hands.
I guess the saving grace is that nobody was hurt.
That's all I care about. Nobody got hurt. The kids are okay, the people next door were fine, and everybody was good.
The house next door had just finished being renovated. It was badly burnt. Furniture has been saved. Edwina and Alana McLaughlin, who own the house, will move to their mothers until the repairs are finished.